Yeah, we have started. We have started, and let's listen to Chinedu. I think Chinedu, you are the one that won. What do you call it? Mr. Nigeria, African, Mr. African Thailand, Continental. How did they say it in the Facebook? Mr. Bangwa. So we are about to listen to Mr. Nigeria and Mr. Africa in Thailand. So he's not only Mr. He's also a student. So he's here to tell us about Thomas Hobbes, the realist guy. Okay, so Chine, can we hear from you?
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Are we tired?
We are not tired. We're waiting for you.
Okay. I'm going to drive us through on Thomas Hobbes' view on peace and governance. I still remain your humble and amazing King Xavier.
Yes.
So moving forward, introduction to Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes was born in the year 1588 and died in the year 1679. He was an English philosopher renowned for his groundbreaking contributions to political philosophy, particularly his ideas on governance, peace, and the role of the state. His most influential work, Leviathan 1651, established the social contract theory, which laid the foundation for modern political thought. Talking about Leviathan is his first work, which he published in the year 1651, and this is work centered on structure of human nature, the necessity of strong government, and the social contract to maintain peace in our society and prevent chaos, that's violence. And his key ideas on this his work includes the human nature, state of nature, the social contract, absolute sovereignty, and political and religion, like the role of religion in our society. Then starting with human nature, Thomas Hobbes argues that humans are inherently selfish, that we are being driven by desire for self-preservation at expense of others, not minding whether the way we are governing, the way we are doing our things, whether it's affecting people we are governing. And he argues that for a community, for a society or country to live in peace, that they should have a strong government or a powerful government to regulate their behavior. Then talking about state of nature, in this state, Thomas Hobbes argues that in this state that there is no law, there is no government governing people, that people act on their own instinct, on their own interests, thereby leading to conflict, chaos in our state or in our community or even our country, which Thomas Hobbes famously describes as solitary, nasty, brutish, poor, and short. Then talking about social contract, to escape to escape this chaos in a state of nature, that individuals need to agree to surrender to surrender some of their freedom in exchange for peace and order. Then moving forward about sovereign power, that for a sovereign to govern well, that they need a strong government to maintain peace and order in our society. Then the last but not the least is the religious, yeah, the role of religion. He he contends and say that in as much as religions have their own power, that but they should not conflict with sovereign authority, that they should not have power over governing authority, that they should not that they should not have power or conflict over the governing authority. However, this is what remains the groundwork for for other political philosophers like John Locke and Jean Rousseau. Jim Rousseau. Jim Rousseau, sorry. And Jim Rousseau. And this is what remains crucial when talking about political philosophy, and the history of political thought. Then moving forward, he was born in an era of political instability, including the English Civil War. Hobbes witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of societal chaos and war. His experiences shaped his belief in the necessity of a strong, centralized authority to ensure peace and order. He studied at Magdalene Hall, Oxford, where he focused on classical literature and philosophy. Exposure to work of Greek and Roman thinkers alongside travel in Europe broadened his intellectual horizons. Then his philosophical perspective. Hobbes viewed humans as inherently self-interested and driven by a desire for survival. Then his theory emphasized the importance of social structures to prevent conflict and create stability. His key contributions to peace and governance. The state of nature. That life without governance leads to anarchy. Life without governing authority, without societal structure, leads to anarchy, leads to chaos, violence in our society. Then social contract theory. Like I said earlier, individuals surrender freedoms to a sovereign in exchange for security and order. Peace through authority. A strong central power prevents conflict and chaos. Then this is his quote. Life in the state of nature is solitary, like solitary, isolation from one another. You know, poor, lack of financial wealthy, nasty, like unpleasant attitude, brutish, being brutal to one another, and short. Then political and governance, his view on government. He advocated for a monarchical or centralized government to maintain peace. Monarchical here means an individual that has a supreme power, supreme authority, and he advocated for that, for a government or for a society to maintain peace. Then the sovereign must have absolute power to enforce laws effectively. Not only having a laid down rules, not only having a laws, but an absolute power to enforce it so that people will obey. Government legitimacy comes from its ability to protect and provide security. Political order is prioritized over individual liberties. Like he prioritized he prioritized public affairs. Let me use that word, public affairs. Like public life. He prioritized it over individual liberty, over personal interest, over selfishness. Then moving on to rule of law and justice. The rule of law is central to Hobbe's vision of governance. Law must ensure protection of individuals from harm, order within society. Justice is compliance with the social contract and the laws set by the sovereign, the governing power. Sovereign authority must ensure fairness and cannot be challenged legally. Then, Hobbes in contemporary thoughts. Foundations for modern political science and theories of governance influence the development of constitutional law and the state sovereignty. Contemporary debates on balancing individuals' freedom with state authority. Relevance in times of political instability, showing the need for strong governance. Then, his views on peace and governance. Thomas Hobbes is best known for his views on the nature of human existence and the necessity of a strong, centralized authority to maintain peace and order in society. His ideas, particularly expressed in his seminal work Leviathan 1651, focus on the dangers of political instability and the role of governance in securing peace. All this is work centered on peace. What society have to do, or the necessity of strong powers, necessity of strong government to enforce peace, to lay constitution that guides people, to avoid war of all against all. People fighting each other because they want to maintain their state, their status, because they want to still have that power at expense of others. The state of nature, a condition of Hobbes begins his exploration of peace and governance by describing the state of nature, a hypothetical condition without a governing authority. In this state, there are no laws, no morality, and no higher power to enforce rules. He argues that in the absence of a central authority, humans are driven by their instincts, desires, and self-preservation, leading to conflict. That people are driven by their instinct, like their self-interest, like what they stand to gain. Not minding if what I'm doing is affecting other person. So long as I'm still gaining that status, so long as I'm still gaining that which I stand to get, I don't care about you that is there. I don't care whatever. I don't care about your opinion or view. Thereby leading to conflict. Key characteristics of the state of nature: self-interest. What I stand to gain. People act in their own interest, competing for resources, security, and status. No trust. Without a higher power, individuals cannot trust each other, leading to fear suspicion, and violence. You see, war of all against all. Man fighting men, fighting for survival. Life is characterized by constant competition, insecurity, and violence, which Hobbes famously describes as being solitary. People avoiding each other, people isolating themselves from from people. Then poor, lack of financial wealth, nasty, brutish, and short. Conclusion: Thomas Hobbes, a legacy of order and governance. Hobbes' theories remain pivotal in understanding the role of government. His ideas challenge us to reflect on the balance between security and freedom. A philosopher whose thoughts resonate across centuries, advocating for peace through governance. Thank you.
Wow. So back to the first slide. Yeah, let's, in the first instance, I don't know why this year, yeah, PowerPoint. Okay, it's talking about Hobbes. We're supposed to have listened about Hobbes before John Locke. However, since it has happened, it has happened.
It is what it is.
It is what it is as of now. So, Hobbes was around at this particular time, 1588 and 1679. I'm sure they never discovered Africa as at that time. Yeah. So he was concentrating on themselves. And when they were fighting about monarchy and the other things as at the time, and then he felt, I think historically you have to read why he had this the position he had. Because of what happened, his own experience, he felt that any society to be successful, you must have a powerful figure.
Yeah.
Yes, go and read why something happened. You must have a powerful figure. Otherwise, there will be anarchy. Because everybody is very selfish. Everybody thinks about his own. People can come and use you and dump you. People can use you and get whatever they want in life. They don't care. Once their selfish interest has been satisfied, they don't care about anything else.
They will move.
That is Hobbes for you. And he said that is natural in us. Yes. Therefore, for a society to be very strong, one, for a state or nation to be the strong one, you must have a strong leader. Are you there? You must have a strong leader. That is where you can think about his concept of Vientiane, just like a giant, somewhere that everybody will see and be scared of. Okay. He was there, as he told us, now born in an era of political instability. A lot of things were happening at the time, including English Civil War. Hobbes witnessed first-hand of devastating effects of societal chaos and war. You get that? The time he was born, the time he started writing what he's writing. He doesn't want that to continue. And the only way to stop that, according to him, in my own view, is to have a strong leader. That's why he's a realist. Security and insecurity. And in order to stop that mess, you should have a powerful president, powerful prime minister, depending on your own area. His experiences shaped his life in the necessity of strong and centralized authority to ensure peace and order. In other words, peace for Hobbes is when you have a strong leader. If you have a weak leader, there is no peace. Are you there?
You asked why he lived like that.
Yeah. Why why was he exiled? Because sometimes you don't know the history of these people. You will not understand the main knowledge.
So, according to Google, according to Google or AI, fast responses, he spent some few times in exile and in France, and during this time, England was going through a civil war. I don't know if you've watched this movie. It's on Netflix. We have movies that talk about the English, how they started. So this specific one talks about, it's called The Outlander, talks about the period in time when England was fighting Scotland. And then we have the Queen Mary had to go to France to marry King Charles II, all that stuff. So back to Hobbes. He was exiled in France. And when King Charles came to France, he started to tutor King Charles. And that is why he said, you need a strong leader, because this is a kid he was tutoring to be a king. And this king went back to England.
Why was he exiled? Yeah?
Why, Lou?
Because there were a lot of killings, of killings that took place to the point that he ran away. Understand? Yeah. And then he was not happy the way the killings were happening. And don't forget, he's such a person that is so nice in his own time anyway. But then now, just understand in the context of being used by some people, or even some kings who favor some people. As soon as they get what they want from that particular king or that particular monarchy, they get that person. They will just betray the person and get the person killed. Have you seen the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, can you share? Because the way you talk is more, the world will be enjoying it more than myself. They say female first.
Okay. So he initially fled for the fear of his life.
Exactly.
Let's start there. Then after he's fled, now he was exiled and told, don't come back. This is why. So in 1640,
1651.
no, now leave that one. In 1640,
Okay.
he published something that criticized the role of parliament in England, and he argued for absolute sovereignty. He wanted a kind of dictatorship with no part of the parliament role in England. Then it got leaked in 1640. That is why he fled, fearing for his life. And then when he was there, now they found out why he actually left and told him, don't come back. And then when they sent the King Charles, the young boy, to live in France, because they thought the queen at that time would kill him so that she can continue to rule. When he got there, Hobbes was now the teacher of this king. And King Charles became a very powerful king. Yes.
You get that? Political science is very sweet and very interesting. Yeah, so that is the point, one of the points. So, at the end of the day, Hobbes view humans as inherently self-interested, driven by a desire for survival, use and dump. It didn't start today. His theories emphasize the importance of social structures to prevent conflict and create stability. So when you talk about peace in the context of Hobbes, it's all about having a strong authority to actually dominate and maintain the status quo and maintain the peace you're talking about. Having a weak leader means there won't be peace. Because That weak leader will not able to see a lot of, will not even to stop people. And he's saying that because whether you like it or not, people will come around you, use anything that you have and forget. If they don't forget, they will even come after you because they will be jealous of you. They want to be in that your position. Hello? Please, I would like us to read this Hobbe. If you read this, that's why he's a realist. That's why he's a realist. That's why he's a realist. Very intelligent man, but he's a realist. That's why, because he was talking directly to the human nature. Because in the state of nature, people can do whatever they want. I can decide to do whatever I want, and I can decide to think you want to kill me, then I kill you first, even without justice. And I can decide you want to destroy my family, even without waiting, I have to go there and then dismantle you. The state of anarchy. And that is why he is advocating for a very strong person. And if you think about it, tell me how many people that are not strong in leadership that will last. Even in a normal relationship, if you are not strong, people will always use you and dump you. The only part, as far as, for example, for myself, I know I'm not as strong as he expected, but I'm very, very careful. People around me, actually. Because myself, I'm also a troublemaker too. So what you're trying to say, let us not think about far away. We have to situate it on an individual life and individual situation. People will just come around you, use you, and then dump you. And some people, as if it's not enough to dump you, they will go out to start to talk all the shits about you, or even begin to emphasize those areas that they think you're not doing very well and that you're not making it in life. Or the area they think when they tell whoever they think they tell, then they are getting you or what. Come on. Thomas Hobbes is somebody to actually listen to. Okay. Thomas Hobbes is an interesting political philosopher to listen to. So let's
In the context of governance, what does it mean by having power? Because I'm a bit confused here with separation of power and authority. In the context of governance, what does it mean? Power. Because according to the story, the history line here, it's all about monarchical system. Which has a central authority, whereas other governments don't have the central authority. So within the context of governance, what does it mean power? Because as an individual, you may be powerful in your own side, but in terms of intellectual and wisdom, you may not be powerful. So I want to know, in this context of governance, where can power be exercised? Because if power is exercised, then where should
the
authority
power
be
is exercised according to him,
yes,
that you are able to know that you talking to me now is very selfish. Myself, I'm very selfish. The world is all moving towards what do I want? What do I want? What is mine? What is mine? You as a Nigerian president are very selfish. Myself as a South African president, I'm very selfish. So it's all about what is interest, what is interest, what is interest. So at the end of the day, what matters according to him, the power, is you and I, was I able to manipulate and get the main thing that I wanted? And I have to be strong enough to know all these things about human nature in our agreement, in our bilateral agreement, even when we sit in conference, whether you are UN, whether you are America, whether you are Europe, it's all about sitting down, analyzing what these people are talking. Where are they coming from? What is that? Okay, well, we just finished about democracy. What does that mean? Or is it democracy for the Europeans to always use Africans? It needs a powerful African leader to now stand, a Leviathan, who was in his own context, a Leviathan. And that is somebody like Gaddafi. That is why somebody like that represented. And immediately, he was.
in essence,
so the power means knowing all this and then being aware of this human nature, and then acting on it in a very strong way without any form of negotiation. It's not a democracy.
Okay, so in essence, the power here focuses on intellectual usage.
Whether it's intellectual, because it's an intellectual.
Because the term power, if you are to exercise it in governance.
No, this is just a PowerPoint by this particular person, but you have to read.
I want to focus it on governance. This is governance. You understand? So if we are talking about the governance and we are talking about power, focusing on it, it has everything to do with use of force, coercion on people, domination, like what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. That is power existing in there. So I don't know if he's trying to combine the two, intellectual power and physical force.
I don't know. It depends on interpretation. But
that's what I want to
let's get
in this context.
In his own social contrast theory. Individuals surrender freedoms to a sovereign in exchange of security and order. Remember, John Locke is different. When you surrender, you'll be protected. Your freedom will be there, guaranteed. But in the case of Thomas Hobbes, you have given it a powerful person and allow him to direct, in my own view. Allow him to be in charge, because you have surrendered your freedom to a sovereign in exchange of security. But all you're supposed to be interested is that you are secure, that's all, and there is order. If there is Boko Haram, they'll kill all of them immediately, because you don't need to allow them to destroy other people. That's why it's a realist. A state should be the most powerful. And then look at it, a peace through authority. Strong central power prevents conflict and chaos. Remember, Trump just won American president, and so many things are happening. So many alignment, because he's seen as a very strong person.
I want to understand something here. I want to separate authorities and power first. Then second one.
But you cannot in this context.
Intellectual power.
Because context,
any country, you made mention of Donald Trump.
Understand this context.
I understand, but I want to know the power we meant here. Is it about? Is it technological power?
Or what power?
Where is it focusing on? Where is it focusing on? Because it's not. Is it all of them combining?
Whether it is power, whether it technological power, whether it is all. Now listen. Whether it is all or not, his interest is that there is order and security. And that order must be maintained by Leviathan. And who is the Leviathan? A very strong person.
Okay, which means if we are to focus on Africa, the country that are not technological stable
is not about technology.
No, because when we talk about power here, it has everything. If you read about
power, putting that word, it doesn't talk about technology.
No, I want to interpret this because this is about governance. If you are to focus on governance, you understand?
About governance, from the point of view of who?
From the point of view about Thomas Hobbes, focusing on governance. Okay. Anything we are talking about here, we must focus on governance. That is what I want to understand.
Now listen, he said, look at it there. Let's follow the presenter's PowerPoint. I said foundations of Hobbean philosophy, the state of nature. Life without governance leads to anarchy. Okay. And then who is this? Who will be the governor? Social contract theory. Individuals surrender freedoms to a sovereign in exchange for security and order. Think of military area. Peace through authority. Strong central power prevents conflict and chaos. If a military is in charge, but I'm not advocating military, example. If a military person is in charge, remember, there's nothing like all this nonsense. Freedom or go and talk about, don't shoot aside. Do this and you must do that. That's what he wants, a powerful person, because there's no need. He doesn't believe in democracy. Then look at his quote. Life in the state of nature is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Therefore, we need a strong person to control it. Go to the other slide. Now let's talk about politics and governance. Content. Advocated for monarchical and central government to maintain peace. Dike. Dike.
eji aka anụ ọgụ. Ọgbara aka anụ ọgụ, ọ bụ mgbala egbe.
If you born a strong person, you must be a strong person. In our dialect, they say, "Utudi Kenya Mulodogo." That is it. So sovereign must have absolute power to enforce laws effectively. It's not a question of going to the House of Rep to decide or go to talk blah, 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 blah. But no, a strong person is a strong person. A strong person will be in charge. Government legitimacy comes from the, look at it here. Government legitimacy comes from its ability to protect and provide security. Political order is prioritized over individual liberty. Let me hear from Chelsea.
Powerful leaders, simple as that. For example, Putin can be considered a powerful leader according to Hobbes. Why? Because Russia, maybe inside Russia, they've not had infighting. Things run differently in Russia. Kim Jong-un can be considered a powerful leader according to Hobbes. Xi Jinping, China, powerful leader. Trump, powerful leader. But in the modern world, in the now world, because of John Locke and other philosophers that came after Hobbes, they came up with a theory of democracy, and this is bad. This is the way you're doing things is bad. You're not advocating for human rights and all these things. But in his period, in this time, what he saw and said, powerful leader, be it intellectually powerful, be it military powerful, as long as you are that powerful. A Leviathan. For example, the Burkina Faso person, he's a military guy, right? He's a powerful leader. Why? Because he has maintained peace in Burkina Faso from a country that had anarchy before. So that's why I think Hobbes, in his time, at that point, he was right. Because England was in chaos during that time. So he wanted a strong, powerful leader to stop all this. Be it a dictatorial person who kills everybody, as long as he maintains that peace and you all follow the rule of law during that time. That's what I think he meant.
Wonderful.
Actually, yes, because, Prof, you started diverting from the question. You don't want to answer it.
What is the question?
Now, because I asked first, so you don't want to focus on the military, because if you are to talk about, let talk. No, because you diverted.
What is even the question?
Because I said,
you said something, and I want to direct you to the main point.
I'm in the main point.
Okay.
Because I want to understand what he meant by these powerful leaders. Because the people we mark today as the powerful leaders today, they are technological, advanced, and stable. In terms of weapon of mass destruction, they can make a provision of it. That is people we regard as
hold it there. So
yes.
Continue.
Yeah.
If it leads to security and order, then they are powerful according to Hobbes.
Which means the power here is not all about being intellectual.
It could be part of it, provided that it provides security and order, and you are in charge.
Now, let us focus on Africa and what is happening in Africa now. I know that most of the leaders we have, they are educated and intellectuals in their own different way. Now, let's say they don't have the weapon of mass destruction to hold the power as the Western world are having theirs. And Putin is being marked as a powerful leader because he were able to protect his territory with weapon of mass destruction. Whereas in our own African settings, we cannot be able to access those weapons of mass destruction. Our leaders not to regard as a powerful leader. Yeah.
Okay, so
if someone wants to invade your territory, you have to protect your territory. You can't use empty hand to protect your territory.
Okay,
this is war. This man is talking about anarchy. That is it. You understand?
To answer your question, I think what Thomas Hobbes is the central idea of his philosophy is that those powerful individuals should be able to maintain peace in their territory.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So if you are bringing it to Africa now, because I think your question is about intellectual advancement, technological advancement, all of that. Contemporarily, what we are seeing in Africa, there's a shift. Something is happening in Africa, like in Burkina Faso, Mali, and the rest. There's a a power shift going on right now.
But remember that shift has been there. Initially, even after independence, it happened like that. But those people did not. But those people could not maintain it. They were even more selfish than the people that they removed in power.
Yeah.
Only if we now move on with Burkina Faso and Mali situation, and if they continue to maintain what we are seeing now, then we can now have another narrative. Otherwise, prior to that, there has
been military intervention. Yes.
There has been like that.
Yeah.
In Nigeria. So many of them.
Yes.
And the military people appear to be worse.
But as it stands now, they are doing, like, there are people that support them. There are people even supported them, especially in Niger. Niger citizens support, like, the military to take over, to be in charge of their government. So it's like the people gave them the legitimacy. Because the people are in support of it. They're not even. It's just the outside world that are crying that is democracy is being eroded in that country. But the citizens, the people, actually in support of what is going on. You get. That was why I asked my first question: is democracy the best form of government? Because a government that favors you, if you know what works for you, do it. As long as there is peace, there is a development in that country. It should be. But Thomas, we're focusing on Hobbes. So Hobbes' idea is centered on authority, respecting an authority, and that authority we can see authority is formed through leadership. You get. So it's having regard for authority and leadership. That is what his idea.
Giving your freedom, power to them, consenting to whatever they do, because you believe that they will do it better than you imagine.
Individually.
They know what you don't know. They see what you don't see. So you now give them that kind of go ahead. Make a decision on my behalf.
Now, with what we have stated here, transferring your authorities to the government. You understand? Now, the people of Burkina Faso has transferred the authority to their government, being the military system. You understand? And the world power decided to put a stop on that. How would they protect the lives and properties of the citizens if the world power come in and say, I want you to stop this military?
That's a different scenario.
So how would they? Because if you come, let's say now, Russia decide to be into military now. Wait,
But question, but Mr. Obi,
all these things is all about the having what it takes to protect the lives and properties of your people.
Yes, Mr. Obi, can I say something?
There are countries that,
like in North Korea, their citizens don't use to.
Okay, if let's say some let's say the world power want to invade. You understand?
From what I heard that if you as an individual, if you have a television in North Korea, they will come. They have some people that will come, disconnect it, connect only what the government is saying. That is what you are going to watch. You see this powerful leader, and those people, they are there and they are existing.
I want you to understand the base of my argument. You made mention of North Korea, right?
Yeah.
They have what it takes to protect the interests of the citizens. You know why? They have the weapon of mass destruction. Okay. You understand? Set it in Africa. Do you have the weapon of mass destruction?
That may be another philosophy. That is another context.
What? That is all power here. That is all power here because what makes about war? What brings about war? Territorial boundaries.
Okay, can I answer you?
You understand?
Mr. Obi, can I answer you?
Yeah.
When we were talking about John Locke, is it John Locke? Yeah. When you're talking about John Locke, you said that Africa needs military power to develop.
Yeah.
You were not talking about weapons of mass destruction then.
Yeah.
Were you? But now here we're saying now we are agreeing with actually what you said. We are all saying Africa needs military strong, powerful leaders. And then now you're bringing the question of mass destruction. We're talking about in country, inside, not leave alone protecting the citizens away from the people who are coming. And if that happens, then all they have to do, if this is a strong, powerful leader, all he or she has to do is say no. The same way West Africa is saying no to France right now. That is how.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me. You're talking about
Inside.
if we started doing that, then there would be no need of an institution of military, because military is meant for external aggression.
Okay.
Yes.
It's meant for external aggression.
So
We get it.
when you are bringing this side, you have to bring this side so that when
But at the same time, Mr. Obi, this one here is talking about, yes, this one here is talking about inside the country. You need to have a strong, powerful leader for that country not to have anarchy. That is the point. Nothing about military nuclear bombs. No, just that.
Even
Another philosopher might come in and tell us what to do when that happens now.
now I say laws and foundation of society. The rule of law is central to Hobbes' vision of governance. Laws must ensure protection of individuals from harm, order within society. Justice is compliance with the social contract and laws set by the sovereign. Sovereign authority must ensure fairness but cannot be challenged legally. I think emphasis should be within, first of all, because according to Hobbes, when you now get this Leviathan, don't forget, it might even lead to a strong military too, because there is no way you can have a very strong leader without a strong military because he's being listened to. It's not a question of going to the parliament to debate it. Because any strong leader, it should be strong enough to have a strong country in such a way that that strong country will be able even to be strong enough to move on, whether there's external intervention or whatever. Even in the Burkina Faso you are talking about, when people, I want you to know that this democracy, they know what they are doing. If let's say you come to Niger and every Nigerian, so what do you call it? Nigeria and say no. The problem is that they try to implant opposition. They're trying to buy some people within, so that those people within will now become an avenue they will come in to do exactly what they are thinking about. Even what they call it, Gaddafi. They killed Gaddafi. Who killed Gaddafi? Not be his people. Even when he ran away to his own village, his people went to his own village. You didn't see Obama there. You didn't see the area you are coming up is a well observed area, but they don't use it the way you are thinking of. They cannot come. It has never happened. The only thing they will now do to begin to pay some oppositions. Yeah, and now begin to penetrate them and we got to empower them. Remember, during the Gaddafi, they say no flight, whatever, no fly. How do they put it? No fly zone. Is it how they call it? That's the you cannot fly. No fly zone, right? But they can only them can fly. And then they use it to cage Gaddafi so much so that they now ran to his own village and then they pursued him in that village. And when they got him killed, today, what is the state of Libya? So it's not actually whether you have mass destruction or whatever. I don't think he's on that capacity. But even at that, a strong Leviathan will put order in his own country, and that order could lead to the progress of the country. Could even lead to even all of them coming to say no to any external whatever.
Because if we look around the whole leaders we have and we regard as a powerful leader, something made them. They have what it takes. When we talk about North Korea being powerful, Russia being powerful, USA being powerful, they have that thing that it takes to become that powerful. And that is what, if you see this Burkina Faso now, this Burkina Faso general, this military man now, he's a powerful man, even because he can do that. You understand? But if it happens, let's say,
When the challenge come, they shift. The powerful, this from my own understanding, the powerful I think he means is when you say something, you stand on it. No matter even the hell want to fall, let it fall. That is what I understand from being powerful.
for you to stand on something, you must. For you to stand on something. No, I'm not. See, okay, let's just close it.
Go and read more about
No,
him.
see, I understand everything he's saying here. Being powerful, protecting your territory, right? Yeah. You must have something to protect your territory. This is my basis of argument. You are just misunderstanding me. These people we call being powerful, they have something they use to protect the territory, which is that weapon of which we Africans listen, of which we Africans listen. Okay. In how many African how many African countries do you know that can?
When he told them to leave, some people challenged him that they are not going to leave, but he maintained his ground and they left. Okay,
I want to ask.
I'm not trying. You are generalizing it to the whole Africa, but he's trying to tell. It's not everybody that can be powerful. It's not everybody that can be a powerful leader.
That the basis of this argument here, I want you to understand this clearly.
Okay.
You understand? I'm not deviating from the lines of Thomas Hobbes. First,
Yes.
let me tell you something. Before the invasion of colonial era in Africa, they have stabilized their economy to some extent. They are powerful. That's why they were able to dominate.
Remember, these people were not colonized.
They have that weapon. You understand now?
Okay.
That's why they were able to leave their own country and dominate ours. They have. So what I'm stating here is the people that we regard these modern leaders we regard as being powerful. You understand?
Yeah.
Not that they are powerful in person, but in what they have on the ground that they use to protect their territory.
Okay, got you. But at the same time, this is our question now. I'm speaking on behalf of everyone. What does the Burkina Faso guy have to make him powerful? Because you're speaking from a point of generalization. I agree, US have a reason to be powerful, UK does, Kim Jong-un does, China does. But what does Burkina Faso have? That is why we are saying it doesn't take your country to be rich or have things for you to be a powerful leader. You just need to be a powerful man or woman. That's it. That's what this is all about.
See, what made Burkina Faso is that, listen. What made Burkina Faso still remain today
Because
is
it's on business.
it's not about speech. They are. Let me tell you something. Because the world power haven't decided to invade. If they want,
Yes.
it will be okay.
Okay, now. Wait.
That is because they are running away from that war. Not that they are that too strong. We are
It's
talking about. They
okay.
don't have what
Now,
it takes like that.
You're trying to anticipate a situation where that
They
will
don't have
happen.
what it takes.
Obi,
One atomic bomb, everybody will disappear. We know.
Obi, that is the thing. You're trying.
Atomic bomb, everybody. You are talking about. We are talking about interior. I'm talking about exterior.
That's what we are trying to tell you.
Let's go.
Yes.
And we need to extend it because as that
Then become a philosopher and tell us why. Tell us that part when you become your own philosopher. So I think we're done. Yeah. No, not the presentation. I think we're done for the day.
Okay, thank you very much.
How do I understand? You understand?
Thank you very much. Thank you very Thank you very much, Chinedu, for your Hobbian Thank you very much, guys. So we are rounding it up today, and I do hope that those who will watch us later will have to comment if they have something to say. Thank you very much. See you next.